my name is Dr. Ashley Jackson. Before I begin, I would like to thank Tony for inviting me here tonight, and to the rest of my Brick family. It feels really good to be back home. I'd first like to read from a letter that Black female composer Margaret Bonds wrote to Langston Hughes. It is dated December 27th, 1955. She writes, "In the back of the average man's mind, a woman's place is in the kitchen. But now, they even come over to see me and bring me their music. If I'd go into detail, I know you'd see the humor in it. Let me remind you that there are few women composers." The career of Margaret Bonds spans from the 1930s through the 1960s, a period in which the nation's cultural and political landscapes were dramatically shaped by the Harlem Renaissance, the Chicago Renaissance, and the modern civil rights movement. From an early age, Bonds was surrounded by the poets, the artists, and musicians of the New Negro movement. And it was from them she inherited the belief that her art could and should be used for social change. In spite of the barriers she faced as a Black female composer, she relentlessly pursued her passion for music. She composed with conviction. The three songs that my colleague Jasmine and I are going to share with you reflect Bonds' commitment to composing works with a message of pride in Black identity. The first is her setting of County Cullen's poem, "To a Brown Girl Dead." She composed the piece in 1933 and would later return to it over 20 years later. The second work comes from her 1950s collection of songs based on the poetry of her longtime friend and collaborator, Langston Hughes. We will perform the last song in that cycle, which is titled, "I Too." We will conclude our set with her spiritual arrangement of "Sing-A-Ho, That I Had the Wings of a Dove." Margaret Bonds is probably best known for her spiritual arrangements, which have been commissioned and recorded by Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman, and Leontine Price. And by borrowing from that well-known repertoire, Bonds hoped to establish a connection with her African-American audiences. And later in her career, she would remark, "I think, if anything, if I deserve any credit at all, it's that I have stuck to my own ethnic material and worked to develop it." I would now like to welcome soprano Jasmine Wilson to join me on stage to perform these three works by Margaret Bonds. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.
send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But I laugh and eat well and grow strong.
Cinnamon, see what a shame.